Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm MrRedClaw. Welcome back to some more World of Tanks. So here we are today looking at, of course, another replay. This time we are looking at Hornets replay over here, of course, as you can see in the Object 268 version 4, which is top of the tree right now, so that's why I'm covering it on today's episode. And Hornet over here is on the Fjords map with actually two platoon mates in an Object 268 and an FV215B183, of course, the Death Star, and the Object 268, just a regular one, of course, not the version 4. And honestly, that was a perfect tank. They don't really need to bring this one in, but we'll just cut a long story short, let's just say that this tank is really good for the current meta, especially if you're using a turbo like Hornet is over here. That means that you can do loads of damage, not as much as any other TD, as this does have, of course, 650 damage instead of 750, but you can go 54 kilometers an hour forwards, 20 backwards, with a quite a good power to weight ratio of 19.17, which it makes it more mobile than like well, some tier 10 medium tanks. A lot of tier 10 heavy tanks are basically, it's only like second fastest tank destroyer, I'm pretty sure, of course, after the Gorilla 15, but that basically has no armor compared to this. And the STRV-103B, I guess that is kind of faster, I guess backwards, not really forwards when you're using the turbo. So this is a really good tank, all in all. The weakest point probably about this is the gun, but as you can see, 3 penetrating hits over here, 2 low rolls though and 1 high roll against the Kranvang, the AMX M454, as that shell doesn't go in. Hornet does know, he is a really good player, he really does know where to aim these shells in. He is using heat, but even that, well, normal AP round probably wouldn't go through the mantlet over there. Not really sure what that one even goes in, it kind of just goes up from where Hornet aimed it. But he knows what he's doing in this tank. Of course, using the food consumable, as probably everyone should on the tier 10 tanks, just make it a little bit faster. 2,950 DPM. The penetration isn't that good as well. It's definitely better than the Badger has, where we covered last time. But basically, the two kind of, it's basically fast, has a lot of armor. The gun isn't terrible, and well, as you can see, the view range actually, without binoculars or coated optics or anything, is actually at a healthy range of about 400 and let's see, 426. You can get it up with food consumables, a good crew, and the vents, as that he actually tried firing a high explosive round over there to do some damage to the Kranvang, but actually it just goes into the rock in front. I actually find that Hornet over here would have actually been able to maybe put in a couple more shots if he doesn't like shift out of his aim as he fires, but I sometimes do that as well, just to kind of get my bearings quickly as I fire. But actually sometimes when you're especially near a kind of ridge over here, it sometimes blips your aim and circle down, so that sometimes messes you up. As Hornet's teammate over here in the Death Star, his platoon mate, let's actually kind of say who he's playing with. He is playing with, let's find them first, Jerry Killer in the Object 268, and in the Death Star, Pacific Hero, who is still alive, but as you can see, their 268 friend over here is already down, but actually quite in a good place for him, as you'll see later on. But for now, kind of blocking the way, but not really, as Hornet over here up to 3,900 damage, 1,200 blocked. They are losing, they're actually down by 2,000 hit points. As you can see, the middle of the map definitely not going too well. There is a mouse over there holding back about what looks like 3 or 4 tanks, which it's good that he's over there, or they would have probably just lost the middle of the map, and as a result they would have been flanked over here. So good that the mouse is there with the support of a Super Conqueror. Now, what does Hornet need to do? I think they just need to calm down. They don't need to rush in. That would be like the worst play they could do, is just to rush in, try and take all of these guys out, because if he rushes in, well, there's an AMX M4 which he's going to take about, what, 400, 500 hit points from him, as the Krangvang not kind of back enough, and Hornet can actually see his hull armor over there, has enough millimeters of penetration on these heat rounds to go through that, 360 millimeters to be exact, on these heat rounds. Now Hornet over here says that we all need to push, and that is the right play, because I was just saying now that they can't push, but if they were to do this one tank by one, it would be a disaster, because you're going to get hit by like 500 damage from the M4. The T57 Heavy has like what, 1400 in the magazine. The Krangvang has something like that as well. They're going to obliterate each tank that comes through, maybe even two in a very short space of time. So they need to all push all at once if they actually want this to be a success. As Hornet takes out the Krangvang over there, Darth Maul over there, really great name, as the mouse over here tries to push through. As you can see, they did actually have some cover from the tanks, but now they're kind of getting in the way over here, as they don't really have, they can't all go through at once. Kind of a disaster over there, as Hornet gets hit first by the Badger with an APCR round, then actually into the tracks by the AMX M4 over here. Not really that good, and then the 60 TP kind of goes through, but he does have a Badger on one side, and that's probably the last thing you want to be standing in front. As we said last last video, the Badger, of course, the most DPM in the game, more than anything else. So that's probably the last tank you want to be sitting in front of for any duration of time, because it hits hard and it hits quick as well. As they take out the AMX M455, it's looking good. Well, tank wise, it's looking good. They actually 10 kills to 6. But they actually 3,500 damage down. As you can see on the top left, mostly everyone apart from the 103B, it's basically like a 1 or 2 hit for most of the remaining tanks over here on the enemy team. But actually, Hornet runs out of heat rounds over there. As you can see, he actually has to aim that one in a little bit more carefully onto that VK7201K. Of course, I'm pretty sure that's the Clan Wars reward tank, something like that. Quite a good tank, quite a good player as well, as he actually takes out Pacific Hero in the Death Star just to Hornet's right over here. Now they really need to watch out over here, so they don't get hit by the by the Object 268. Actually blows him up, I'm pretty sure, over there. So that is good stuff for Hornet over here, as there's just that VK left over there, who goes down. Actually doesn't go down. If this was a normal TD with 750 damage instead of 650, that would have probably taken out the VK with just a slight high roll. Maybe even if it like rolled normal, that would have taken him out. So there is weaknesses to this tank, but it's just that the good parts of this tank massively outweigh the bad parts, as the S1 over here, well, not the S1, but the S tank comes out. Hornet actually switches to a high explosive round, which probably isn't the best idea, because the armor on the tank is kind of trollish if you actually want to fire some high explosive at it. But he does 470 with the high explosive and 600 with the ram over there. As we said, Hornet using the turbo on the tank, and probably some skills and perks to kind of nullify the damage you take, and basically just absolutely crush the others you actually ramming. I've definitely seen some huge rams in this tank over the last like month or so since the perks came out. It's probably been like over a month now, but over the last month I've just seen absolutely amazing rams in this tank against basically every single tank in the game. And to kind of finish off the game, blind kill on the artillery, why not? Absolutely brilliant game. Let's look at the post-game stats and let's see how good of a game this was for Hornet in the Object 268 version 4. So as we can see, an ace tanker, of course, for an absolutely brilliant game and a high caliber. No doubt about that. 11,960 damage, 5 kills, 1,581 base experience. It's basically what dreams are made of in this tank. And of course, maybe not a ram kill, you'd probably want that as well, but 700 damage with a ram, that is still quite good. Now, Hornet did use quite a lot of heat rounds, but it is tier 10, and that's basically what tier 10 is kind of balanced around these days. But with the Christmas payouts and battle payouts and all of that, and with a premium account, 91,000 credits earned, it still would have actually been 38,000 even without the premium account, so quite good going for a tier 10 match, with heat rounds being slung around as well, and of course a food consumable as well. But for now, that's going to be it. So if you guys enjoyed, like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.